Hey folks, it's time for take two. I apologize for earlier when I only managed through initial 20 minutes or whatever. My wife likes to take dogs nature area, not too far from the house here. It's completely like rough and rustic, just no improvements or anything. There's never anybody out there, so she lets our older dog Sadie off the leash, and it's like 200-300 acres of woods, and my wife is spat out, to say the least, because that's her baby, my baby too. But and so I had to just stop and go help find the dog. She has been found. She is laying right here chewing on a bone beside me. She's like, I don't know what y'all are all upset about. We didn't get onto her or nothing, but we were all like out because we didn't know where Sadie was. Anyway, but this time, now, we are all ready to go. Just make sure the volume is down on that, and it is, so I can see. Welcome to take two of season 5, episode 22. I have got a great tell you that because I've already gone halfway through it once, so it is really great. I am pairing Valencia, which is aged an additional 12 months in V casks from Portugal, with one of my favorite cigars, de Cuba Mi-Amor. Now, this is a sophisticated interplay that with bright citrus, rich chocolate, some espresso in there, some warm, maybe toasted wood. Let me turn the ball game down. Oh, by the way, my Aggies ended up coming back from 27 points down. So anyway, this pairing will, I'm sure, our eyes have already unfold beautifully from the first light down to the flash, with depth and balance and a dessert-like finish. Keep watching because I know you're going to love it. I promise. Now, Valencia from Penelope. This is a straight bourbon, an Indiana distiller. So it's not a Kentucky straight bourbon. They have a lot of these is those casks that I have a hard time pronouncing is oh shit, I forgot what they were. Wine or cognac, wine casks, some sort of wine casks. Anyway, I was like, Penelope is this Valencia is a 4-grain spirit. I can get this spit out. As I said, they're finished in Vino de Naranja casks, from giving it a rather illuminate and elegant profile. percent corn, 16% wheat, 7% rye, and 3% malted barley. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And you got sweet. You got nice balanced structure from the wheat. You've got a little bit of spiciness from the rye. It's excellent. It's excellent. Trust me. If you can find Valencia, it's excellent. It's a 47.5 whole body proof. Aged, and this is how they say it, at least 4 years, with years being in the Vino de Naranja casks. I got some glassed up. That's just I can't ever get left or right, down right. Beautiful, beautiful color. It's a nice deep amber, some hint, copper, or maybe even some reddish hues in it on the nose. A couple hours ago. Oh, this is one of the best smelling. I put my nose to. I just is. You do get like some cake So a little bit of sweetness with a coffee cakey kind of thing. Blood orange glaze. There's also a little bit of a bold spice in there from the rye. Let me go ahead and try a sip for you. I also sipped on this once we got back. I've been sitting out here for a while. It was a game. We'll get into that in a minute. The body that this spirit wonderful and layered with a nice citrusy zest to it of like mandarin, kind of floral undertones. There's a nice oakiness kind of weaving its way all through there. The thin, rich and savory and lingering with more orange peel and some hints of black pepper. It is full spirit. I got some more to say about it, but we're going to go because I try to keep this stuff going. You know, I really try to be a professional operation around here. The Aroma Mi-Amor, or is it actually Mi-Amor? But you know, the song, the more you know what. Yeah, this is the Mi-Amor. This is the Mi-Amor. It is a beautifully constructed cigar. It is one that and still finely pressed. It's a press, soft box press, which means it's a little rectangle, but it's also got rounded edges as opposed to the sharp edges. I think right off the bat is the Java. The Java has a like a 5x60 or 660 box pressed, and it's just straight corners. Where this is more of a soft box. So it's a dark chocolate brown, as you can see. This one has more veining on the pre earlier today. Some of the veins, as you can see, are a little pronounced, but that's, you know, you're talking a natural product. They do the best they can. So I would say this is sort of a medium veining with some of the veins pronounced. It has a beautiful cap on that has no flaws or anything like that in it. It's firm but not hard, which indicates that it's got a really good roll to it. The roll, but they roll it too tight, didn't roll it too soft. So let's go ahead and give it a sniff. And this cigar is rich and earthy with a little bit of cocoa aroma, kind of with some almonds. It's just got that chill smell to it. I grew up in farming area, so you know when you till that earth up, you just get that wonderful fresh. And then there's also just a kind of a hint brown sugar as well, and that's on the body of the cigar. Now on the foot, I think the correct thing on the back end of it is the heel. The heel. That's what I call it, the heel and the foot. So I know the foot is right anyway, you know. So the foot gives off some notes of spices, some espresso. There's a little bit of cedar mixed in there, so you get a little bit of sweetness. This is a smoked quite a few of the Mi-Amors, and I love them. You can get them in a fresh pack from us or Holtz or somewhere like that. I think pretty much everybody has the fresh packs, but depending on which fresh pack is, these and then you'll get one of several other of the LADC cigars. But these are my favorites. Fine. But this is easier to keep in the humidor. The Noble S is noble. So, cut. I am again going to be using my Cassetti multi-cutter on the V-cut end. No, got to move my ashtray over on the other side. So, all right. Cold. Wow. Oklahoma 7 on Alabama halfway through the second quarter. Wow. We'll say has a little bit easier draw than the one I smoked earlier this morning. I get an earthiness and maybe a little bit of black pepper tinkled in there. Some almonds, kind of a creamy sweetness that, hang on. Maybe something along the lines of nougat, the stuff inside of Three Musketeers, that fluffy stuff. Or coconut. Anyway. Yeah, so I mean, this is a ton of layers in it that you really have to unpack. There's a lot going on. So I go ahead and put some fire to it. Back to people than I did earlier today. Yeah, the one earlier today, I was at like 19 minutes. Started noticing on the iPhone, my iPhone that I've got using as my camera, getting these text messages from my wife. Now, my last message to her, I'm going to be doing a live stream because she'd already left going to the park. I did say this morning. I'll say it again. When you're lighting, for those people that may not be experienced cigar smokers, when you're lighting your flame to it and you're drawing through the cigar, you're getting it going. Take a couple and then turn. Blow on the cherry. That's what she said. And that it's the whole cherry is lit. Otherwise, you'll end up with wonky burns that'll be all jagged, or the cherry will canoe on you, and it will burn unevenly. You want it to don't like it being uneven. So anyway, I couldn't work in what she said on that one. This one seems to be a little bit more smoke than the one earlier today. Something to keep an eye on. Again, these are cigarettes. You know, sorry, there's something flying around. These are not cigarettes that are machine made. Everything is consistent. Rolling it through is thousands of them. No. Every one of these cigars are rolled by hand. Arturo Fuente, Rocky Patel, Padron, Punch, Cohiba, hand. So while the leaves may be the person putting them together, you may not get exactly the same thing. Smoked thing that makes it so intriguing. How is this one a little bit different than the one that I smoked? That's the exact same one. right? And generally, that's not a bad thing. Sometimes somebody could have rolled in on Monday morning. They've been on a bender, and they're a little bit hungover, and they didn't roll well. So anyway, on the light, get some really great notes of espresso bean, not espresso, espresso, es. You get some cracked black pepper. That's, of course, cocoa powder is dry and kind of rich. I love the little video of the kid, his mom trying to tell him you can't eat cocoa, and he gets a spoonful of it. And then he's looking around like, oh my God, what did I do? And he coughs and dust comes out of his mouth. It's hilarious. But anyway, so you got all that stuff going on. But then, how does it go together, right? I'm doing good. We're 16 minutes in. I'm already well on. Those early notes of espresso and pepper just permeate your. And then you've got the Valencia with the orange peel and the citrus zest. The bourbon just like lifts the pepper from the cigar, making the smoke feel right. The sweetness of the spirit offsets the kind of dryness of it. And that's what this stuff is all about, right? It's about marrying two things together. There's also a way you can do it, right? You can't just throw any cigar and any together. But if you're looking for experiences, you can't do that. Cigar is an experience. Cigarettes, people put a cigarette in their mouth, they smoke it 10. If they're really stressed, they can do it in like 2 or 3. But that's not an experience. That's a nicotine hit. Smokers smoke cigars for the experience. It's not necessarily about smoking. It's about the handmade detail that went into it and contemplating your talking with friends at the cigar bar or cigar lounge, wherever you might be, watching football on a Saturday afternoon. It's an awesome experience. I've been doing this since, as far as smoke cigars, premium handmade cigars since 2004 when I was in Iraq. I will say this one, it is an extremely easy draw. I just barely puffed on it. And that's what she said. And it gave me goodness. Uh-oh. Alabama's starting to come back. I really like to see Alabama lose this game. I hate it. As an Aggie fan, Alabama and Texas. For Oklahoma, but I don't hate them. I hate Texas, UT, and Alabama. Anyway. Still little whiffs of smoke coming out of the glass. It doesn't mean anything. There's no magic mystery to that. I like to hold the smoke in my mouth until just before the spirit hits my lips. And then I'm blowing the smoke out, sip up, so that there is the least amount of time between the puff and sip to properly evaluate all of the flavors and complexities. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, and we're just waiting on the halfway mark or middle third, whatever you want to say. When I was in it just kicked off. They had an 11 o'clock game. Next week's an 11 o'clock game. Hate 11 o'clock games, but at least we're by. And we're going to be down there. So then we've got, like several hours. We can go to their house and maybe Aggieland Outfitters, have dinner at the Dixie Chicken. Do all the things that you do when you're in Aggieland. I did a graduate program there, programs, and then my oldest daughter, she got her undergraduate degree. To go there if she can get the grades. She's smart enough. It's just you got to sharpen the stumps to sit down. And then the youngest daughter, she's not gonna have a problem. So she'll make it. And she wants to be a veterinarian. So that's all she's ever wanted to be since she's 5, to be a veterinarian. And of course, that's the best veterinarian school in the country. I was talking to my mom the other day. I try to talk to her every day because my brother lives right there near, and I live like 7 hours away. They don't live in Texas. I try to talk to her every day because, he's busy. He's a school resource officer. He works for the local police department there, but he's a school resource officer in the school we graduated. It's a family school. When I say that, I mean there's like basketball championships going back into the 20s. My aunt went there. I went there. My brother went there. And it's the way it was. I mean, there was just generations of kids at the school. No, they didn't have a football team at the time. They had a basketball team. And it was a good one pretty much all the time. But, during the year, he has games he has to go to because he has security. And then he does some security for the local college and that kind of stuff. So he go by and check on her. He takes care of everything around there, though. Where I'm the one that I check on her every day. This story, and she was, and it made me think. I'm like, I've never told this story on here, and it's a great story. I was activated in 2004, 2005. Went to Iraq, went to Afghanistan, and but we had this guy in our unit. He was when I was activated, I was like 34. He was like 20. And he was kind of a savant. I mean, he played the piano like a concert pianist. And he had a keen ability to remember. Like our career field was transportation and logistics. And we had volumes. Like this would be like one book. All right. Like books of our career field, all the stuff that was involved in transportation and logistics. And he was, if you asked him, where is this in the, in our manuals, he would say it's manual. He knew. He'd also never been away from home. Activate. But he didn't go to the desert. He got sent to Germany. I got sent to fucking desert. He got sent to Germany. All right. He went to Germany with a group of people because they scattered us all over the place. Well, they sent him to Germany. I'm getting shot at rockets and mortars almost every day, sometimes multiple times a day. Car bombs going off at the gate. We were only about 20 or 30 miles from Fallujah, and that was right during the Battle of Fallujah. 4 hours a day, you could hear You could hear small arms fire, rockets, mortars, all this kind of shit going off. He's in Germany. Yeah, he's at Ramstein. No, yeah, I think Ramstein. All right, I've been to Ramstein. I spent a couple there. Place. I loved it. All right. They had to drag him out from under his bed, naked, sucking his thumb, because he had never been away from home before. And I am not even kidding. I'll let you marinate on that for a second. And I will also tell you that for the act, I don't remember exactly how long after, but sometime after. I retired in 2012. It was somewhere between 2005 and 2012. My buddies in the unit was like, dude, I can't even remember this guy's name, the one that I'm talking about. I cannot remember his name. Seen this video of him on YouTube. And I'm like, no. And he sends it to me. And I go, this isn't just a YouTube video. All right, this is a YouTube video from like the National Geographic Channel, Discovery channels. And they had this show about people and their weird things. And he's on it with his balloon infatuation. Now I'll let you marinate on that for a moment. This is like a 10-minute or so segment show was about him and his balloon infatuation. And it would show him with all these balloons laid out and wherever it was. But he said he loved to tuck them up under his shirt and feel them on his skin. And they're just so soft. And I'm like, this dude is a fucking freak. I would just died laughing over this. Hey, go look. Their balloon infatuation. I can't. Dave something. His name was Dave something. I don't know. Anyway, and they even the segment that he was a sergeant in the Air Force Reserve. Oh my God! What a way to say that the Air Force. Than to have a freak on a nationally televised show. Well, it may have been global, and YouTube is global. This thing's probably billions of views. And I'm like, he went to Germany. Imagine if he'd have been in Baghdad with rockets and mortars falling all around him. Had another dude in our unit. His last name was Jock, not Jock. Something like that. And he was in the, but he had been in the Army in, I can't remember if it was the 82nd or 101st, but it was back when they were still paratroopers. It had to have been the 82nd. But anyway, I don't know, it could have been Air Assault, which was 101st Airborne during, during and after Vietnam. Anyway, he must have been testing parachutes, and a couple of them didn't open because he was a little strange. And I remember when we got activated, my unit was not very far from my. It was there in Arkansas. I lived in Tennessee, and I would have to drive over for drill weekend. He, my mom and my aunt and uncle had showed up, and they were like, we saw outside the base, and you know what we saw? We saw this truck out there. It was pulling a car and had a boat turned over up on top of it. And I went, "Is this job?" And they were like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's in our unit. He's packed his entire house up into his truck, and he's taken it with him to North Carolina, which is where we were deployed to, and then there we were seized as part of an active duty unit." And they started laughing, and I said, "Oh, it gets better. I feel like four." And he's like, "Well, what is he doing with them?" I said, "Well, we asked him that." And he said, well, he had gone to Walmart and he'd bought about 4 or 5 bags of Old Roy, and he'd just scattered it out in the yard. I'll let you marinate on that. We were deployed for a year. Like, Jock, dude, you're going to here. Those dogs are going to eat that food up in the first few days. He's like, that's all right. He's like, it's all woods around. That's what he said. We're like, well, what about water? He's like, I got a pond. Drink out of the pond. Drink out. Yeah. This is also the guy that nearly got. We were in, technically we were Afghanistan, but it was Pakistan, even though there were no combat. Pakistan. Rifle. Whatever. An assault weapon. As the even though that's just a made up term. We don't use those terms. And it's, you know, you have a rifle or you have a machine gun. And we don't even call them the Ma Deuce, which is the M250 cal or whatever. Anyway, we're almost the halfway mark. I'll give you a little update in a minute. We're doing good. We're 30 minutes from stories. So there. And nobody wants to work with Jock. Jock is a pain in the ass. I work nights. Now, we were on a Pakistani military base. And their tower, it was an air base. And their tower shut down at dark. So there was no tower from dark to sunrise. Any planes that might come in were not theirs, they were ours. And they would then, you know, just night vision goggles, no lights, they'd land. But we rarely ever got a plane. Well, I work nights. There were only me and another guy. And they told us, this is what they said. They're like, we put you on night, basically there to keep each other awake. Hey, stop. Stop it. You want me to put you inside? Stop it. All right. And Desi's laying out there just chewing on his bone. He don't care. But so you didn't do anything. We worked from 7 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. I was still working on my bachelor's degree at the time. I was taking accounting classes. And the other guy that worked with me, he was watching Saban the series about everything. And then they took him off nights and put Jock on. He's in, and I said, I am not working with this fool. Well, anyway, hey, and I managed to drop it off in the ashtray. Anyway, he was big into photography. He had these expensive, like German 35 millimeter cameras. That's like, and he was sending his film with the Pakistan on the base out into town to be developed of pictures that he was taking on the OPSEC. You're sending pictures to be developed out into town. People hate us. That's not good. You could look out across the flight line. There was a war there. In military, they monitored the wall out there. Right over the wall, and I had some pictures of this somewhere with my ex-wife and most of my personal shit. And I'm not bitter. Like the houses, you could literally jump from the guard tower down to the houses. That's how it was. And you could see all these houses. They had these flag poles up, and they had the flag of whatever terrorist organization affiliated lying up there. Oh yeah, those people hate us. Well, so they said, all right, you can't Standy store anymore. They had a little store on base where they had a barber shop and a tailor shop and a gift shop, and stuff like that. Yeah. They told him he couldn't go down there anymore. Our captain in charge of our section, and it wasn't like a week. Captain saw him walking back from over there. I remember going to our tent one day. We had just a regular sized military tent, but everybody had shower curtains, and they had lights on. You had a hallway that went right down the middle of the tent, and then it was all blocked off into rooms with your shower curtains in front. So you had like a big double door locker or whatever, and your cot. So they got like 10 people in a tent. And I remember in one walked out into the hallway, and he is wearing full packy gear. He's wearing man jammies, big, and the pants, and he had the little Pakistani hat on his head, and I think he even had a I don't know what they call a shawl or whatever, around him. I thought he was going to go over the fence. I thought he was going to. That's the kind of people that you know. I know a guy. It's a Army recruiter, and hates it. Like, why do you hate your job, dude? You're a recruiter. He's like, because these people are dumb, completely dumb. All right, well, hang on. We'll pause there for a minute because I got to give you a little update. All right, as we've gotten into the heart cigar, really blossoming out into dark chocolate and roasted almonds. I do have a bit of I probably needed to let these rest a little longer. But anyway, there's a nice subtle creaminess to it. Layers and nuts with the pepper kind of softening into an earthy richness. The Penelope is just melding perfectly. The bar has built with the chocolate and the almonds and the cream. The bourbon's kind of caramel and baking spice just work together very well with the cigar's kind of creamy sweetness. It is a wonderful. I didn't get to tell you this the first time. The citrus from the whiskey has become less aggressive, more like a supporting cast. The pairing really is kind of starting to feel like a really dessert. Think like chocolate almond truffle with a thing or something like that. Oh, it's really good. If you haven't tried this, you're missing out. You're missing out. Minutes till 14 seconds until halftime, and Alabama's down 17. The ball, driving hard. That's what she said. I think he may have caught that ball, and I'm not a Alabama fan. I try to call it down the middle. He got a foot down. But yeah, Jock was a character. The first night that he was put on my shift, and it was getting about dark, and he was like, "We need to get out here and work on this cargo." We can't. I'm like, "We're not supposed to have the lights on, dude. We're observing, black conditions. I want people to be able to see where we are." Oh, he goes out there and turns the lights on anyway. I refuse to go. I'm like, no, I'm staying inside the street building. I ain't getting out there. You're not getting me killed. And that's when I was like, went to our senior master sergeant, and I'm like, dude, I can't work with him. You can either I'll come to days. I would days and have to like work as opposed to having a nice cush job at night. I don't care. But if you were going to give me the option, like, yeah, I'll work nights. I don't care. I got to sit and study. The guy that I had worked with, He'd get in there and put his Carl Saban stuff on with his headphones on, watching on his computer, and he'd stay there all night. But we had to be there because first got there, they were we had Predator drones, and they were flying those over into Afghanistan at night. They pulled, and then they brought in some P3 Orion photography, bringing 3 Orion surveillance planes that would take pictures and stuff. The problem was that nobody packed, and then somehow it came out. They'd already started moving in men and equipment, and all the planes hadn't showed up yet, but they were, we had set up new tents and all this stuff for all these people were getting in from the Navy. And pitched a fit. They didn't want any pictures taken. So they had to pack all that stuff up and move it back out again. So then they had a flight of Marine C-130 refueling aircraft. They got smart. And so they would fly these planes at night over into Afghanistan, fly into an air base or a base, forward operating base, pick up troops, fly them to where they were going to raid that night, drop them off, fly back, pick up ammo and stuff, bring it, load up prisoners and any wounded, bring them back, that kind of stuff. And then they would come and land right before dawn. Had to be in case they had anything that needed to be taken off with heavy moving equipment because they weren't licensed on stuff. And they would, I don't think we may have had a couple of times we had to go do something, but basically the Marine on the other side, and they'd come over and they'd be, hey, we're getting a plane in. We don't need any help. Okay. Bye. You always got to be there just in case. Also, the end of the line as far as stops on the aerial route, they would make their stops and they would get to us and then they'd fly back to Qatar when we'd get our air in. And so all of our like fresh fruits and vegetables was flown in. If there was a sandstorm or anything in Qatar, that didn't come. And I do where I'm down to breakfast in the morning being a prepackaged Rice Krispie treat, regular, just like you buy in the store, and an apple. That was breakfast because you'd go and look and the green bananas were all black and you were like, I ain't eating that shit. But somehow at one point had some dig through. And the Pakistani commander, he found out that they were there and comes over. It's what you got to do. They didn't care, but that's what he had to do. So he did it. He comes up, he finds out that they haven't eaten anything. So he calls to his officers' mess and he has them bring food over. And they a passenger terminal tent that we had there. And those people came to us getting ready. And they're like, look, we ain't eating that shit. We're not getting sick, leaving out of here. We're going home. And we were like, well, we'd been eating apples and Rice Krispie treats for weeks. We're like, hell yeah, we'll eat it. That was some of the best food I had. Yeah. Oh, daddy's pumpkin. Yeah, daddy's puppy. And Sadie, she's the one that got lost. And then I don't know if I said this or not, but anyway, when she was found, like I said, they were at this big nature area, and Trisha had gone back out to out of the car waiting. She had defaulted to what they always do. They always be back at the car, and she went found the car. I did it when I was like 6 or 7 at SeaWorld. Like, well, go back to the car. They got to get in the point. Little girl, yeah, she is. She daddy's pumpkin. But anyway, we feasted. That was some of the most. I have no idea what it was. I know there was one thing that was duck, other stuff that was made with chicken, and there was other stuff that was just vegetables, and they had naan bread. Oh, one of the ladies, Lenoris, that was deployed with us, she was the other senior master sergeant. She's like, I'm not trying that. I'm like, care, I'm eating it. Best meal I had the whole time. Best. Those may have joined in late. I am pairing the Penelope Valencia, which is aged in 12 months in Vino de Naranja casks from Spain, which I think is wine. And it's kind of hard. I've been watching for it for like a couple of years, and I walked to a store here nearby that I've only gone to a couple of times. It's fairly new. They had 2 bottles of it sitting on their allocation. I snagged one, and it's as good as I thought it would be. It's really great. It's a great. Now it's not. I forgot. Anyway, the mash bill is a 4-grain combination. 4-grain. 74% corn, 16% wheat, and 7 rye, and then 10%, and not 10%, then 3%. I was doing math in my head. Barley. It's 95 proof, 47.5% alcohol by volume. It's aged at least 4 years. On the nose, you get a really nice kind of bold spice, some iced coffee cake, blood orange, kind of sweetness. It's got a lot of layers to the palate. Citrus zest, kind of mandarin orange kinds of things, and some floral undertones. There's quite a bit of oakiness in it. And the finish is long, kind of lingering and rich, with more orange peel and some hints of black full spirit. If you've never tried it and get the opportunity, buy it. It is definitely worth the money. The last time I saw it, it was over a season. This tax and everything for like $90-something. Probably still overpaid a little bit for it, but it was good enough. When he told me how much it was, I was like, I'll take that. Now, the Aroma de Cuba Mi-Amor is one of the, I think, the top two best cigars that La Aroma de Cuba puts out. Number one is an extremely expensive cigar. It's and it's worth it. Yeah, I've still got a few of them in my humidor. I love them. It's like one of those things on special occasion kind of things, you know. Sit down, babe. But oh, I got a little crook going on there. Oh, I think she needs to go potty. I promise I'm not cutting off like I did last time, but I'm going to go away. Gate. Hang on just a second. This is live, you know. You have to just go with it when it's live. Go potty. There you go, baby. Yep. Yep. Open the gate. she's a very good dog. We have a we have the pool area where they are now, but we also have beside the house a dog run that from the house that has an automatic dog door on it. She wears a collar. Desi wears a collar, and that lets them in and out. And the dog run is fit off everything, so we can let her. She just lets herself in and out, but she's allowed. We can't let her have her running around out here. She'll be getting in the pool in February. But she doesn't care. She doesn't know any different. It feels all. Smartest dog I've ever known. You can talk in full sentences to her. She understands what you mean. Just like she knew where the car was. So she got lost. She wandered around until she knew where she was, and she found. She's a mess. I was talking about before, but well, we are at 51 minutes. I am almost done. I think we can probably go ahead and bring this episode to a close. The abbreviated episode was, I mean, if you just want to know where we are, in a version, but you don't get all the great stories and stuff that you get with a 50-something minute version, right? You got some great stories. You got some wartime stories. You got some good dog lost and found stories. That's part of what smoking cigars is all about. And swapping stories with friends, right? So here in the last third, I guess you'd say, the chocolate, the toasted wood. There's been a toasted wood that's kind of developed last third. The pepper has kind of returned, but very gently, not a lot. And the cedar finish, the cedar has kind of held all throughout. It has remained an exceptional match between the Penelope and the Mi-Amor. The cigar, of course, as I said, has finished with deep chocolate, toasted wood, some subtle pepper. The Valencia has kind of brought out the savory elements while it's finishing orange peel and kind of balance the richness of the cigar. I mean, this has been an experience, even though it took me 2 tries to get it all done. It is very similar to a refined dessert. Yeah. The kind of bright and mandarin, kind of warm baking spices have elevated the Mi-Amor's dark chocolate espresso kind of a next level. This cigar enhances the bourbon, giving weight and depth to the body, while the bourbon kind of refreshes the palate and keeps the cigar from being too heavy. Yeah. I mean, this is a wonderful experience. I'm actually glad I got 2 tries at it. Together, they deliver a coherent experience that feels indulgent yet balanced for like a late evening, sitting out chilling, watching the college football game, enjoying a great smoke and sip session, going to your local cigar bar if they've got the Mi Valencia in there, sit, watch a little TV and BS with the other cigar smokers and have a good. I mean, it's awesome. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, all those kind of things. So social media knows that you love me. That helps keep me going. Definitely share it. And you got to see this guy. Yeah, he smokes a cigar and he drinks a spirit and tells you about all that stuff, but he's got some fun he talks about between all that. So, go to the Sticks-n-Stonez store, STICS-STONEZ. Got a store on Amazon. You can buy Sticks-n-Stonez apparel. It's got the Sticks-n-Stonez front. Or my best-selling item is it's called the Here Am I, Send Me. It's got the Sticks-n-Stonez logo on it, but on the back, it's got a desert camo soldier, his helmet, goggles, all that, M4. It's got the Isaiah 6:8 verse above and below him. And the Lord said, "Who shall I send and who should be? Here, my Lord, send me." Make great Christmas gifts. They come in colors, all kinds of colors, black, gray, pink. You can take care of just about anybody on your Christmas list, and Christmas is almost here. You need to start buying. Yeah. Get to be together again. Keep your sticks dry and your stones cold, and have a great day.